Hi people! Today I bring you the very long-awaited tour of my current in-progress mixed media sketchbook. This is a project I've been chipping away at for about a year and change, and it's one that I've been meaning to film for the past couple of months, because I think that I've actually done some of my best works to date in here, and whenever I post a page or a quick flip through, it seems to draw some curiosity. This video will mostly be just getting a decent look through, but I'll try to explain my concepts and thought process behind it, and some of the particulars along the way as best as I can. If you're new here, hi, I'm Ree. I'm an independent artist trying to reteach myself how to make long-form content, and I also run my own small business, Owl Skulls, using my original art. Please consider subscribing, I'd love to have you here on my journey. To start, I thought I'd just explain what my central idea behind this project as a whole is. This isn't my main sketchbook that I use every day, but specifically its own project, and the main idea is the combination of an experimental sketchbook and a personal diary. When it's eventually complete, it's meant to be displayed in its entirety as an interactive piece with the intention of people being able to come up and flip through it themselves. I liked the idea of challenging the viewer a little in how they engage with emotionally sensitive works like this, because after all, you're technically reading my diary here. Is it okay if it's in the name of art? I treat each page as its own work, basically. I play around with different mediums and techniques that I might not be all that familiar with, while also using it as a way to express and try to work through thoughts, memories, and emotions that might be coming up for me at the time. This can be seen in both a literal sense, where I'm just straight up writing things down in the style of a journal entry, and in the figurative sense, where I'm sticking to carefully chosen symbolism in my imagery. On the back of each page, I add the dates in which I worked on them, which allows me to keep track of how I was feeling when. It's a lot more interesting to me to go back and look at them once I've had some months away from a page, and getting to re-examine the thoughts I explored there with a clearer mind. I've always had a habit of going back to revisit things I made, whether that be actual diary entries from years ago, or stories I wrote, or whatever, and this is just a natural extension of that. I also encourage you to do so if that's not something you already do. I found that it helps me gain a better understanding of myself overall, in addition to my artistic development over time. I've always really enjoyed playing with physical textures, so this has definitely been a great place for me to just go for it. I've also been trying to experiment more with my art in general, and really try to push my concepts a little further in ways that I might initially want to shy away from. One of my favorite pages in here is the one where at first all you see is just a sheet of pink tissue paper, but when you get closer and push parts of the paper down, you start to see what's actually there, hiding just beneath the surface. I'm a big proponent of using what's available to you, regardless of perceived quality, and I think this really shows here too. Some of the mediums and materials I used here include Crayola crayons, tissue paper, fun-shaped glitters, oil pastels, and even some old test prints I had from a lino cut I did a couple years ago. They were just gonna get tossed anyway, so I cut them up and was able to use them on a couple different pages. And it always makes me super happy to not waste materials, so big win overall. This book has 100 pages in total, and my original plan was to have it completed by the end of 2023, but things happen, and what's more important to me right now is that I get pages done when I can, and avoid guilt-tripping myself for not creating when I genuinely just don't feel like it, or can't for whatever reason. I've noticed I've developed a lot of bad habits over the years that have just ended up leaving me feeling burnt out and uncontent with where my career is, and I'm in the ever-ongoing process right now of trying to teach myself healthier ones that'll help me not only do better work, but feel better in the long run. It didn't get done by my original deadline, sure, but I'm feeling pretty optimistic right now about maybe getting it done by the end of the summer, depending on how certain things in my personal life end up panning out. Regardless of when it's officially done though, I've personally enjoyed what I've done with this book so far, and I certainly hope you've enjoyed this closer look at it. If you made it all the way through, thank you so much for your time and attention. It really does mean a lot to me. While I can't claim to have any sort of set schedule at the moment, I do really want to do a lot more of this longer form, art-specific type of content in the near future, so I hope you'll consider sticking around and hitting the subscribe button, and giving this a video a like. Totally up to you though. All pertinent links, including my online storefront and most of my active socials, will as always be down in the description, alongside the video chapter list and any other important stuff that I might have forgotten to include here. Have a wonderful rest of your day or evening, and until we meet again.